I start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all got about an hour or so to chop it up with the kid. Y'all see this subject matter, man. And I'm back on the streaming. You know what I'm saying? I was about to talk myself out of it, man, but then I realized, man, we got a greater purpose, man, that we got to fulfill. So it is what it is, man. We back. You know, y'all bear with me, man, as we wrestle with, you know what I'm saying, emotions and things like that, man. We just getting that mind in order. So, you know, when you dealing with the mental, man, it's an up and down process, man. But we gonna conquer it, though. And I'm gonna show y'all the journey of me conquering this mental. But hopefully y'all got about 45 minutes to an hour to chop it up with the kid. Y'all see we live from the gym, man. We just got our leg day in. And we ready to build, man. So what's the word? How y'all living and feeling? Airview, peace, what's happening? What's the word? How we living and feeling? CJ, peace, what's happening? What's the word? You know what I'm saying? We back stronger than ever, man. Y'all see what we about to talk about, man. It's a bunch of things that I gotta discuss, man, and get off my chest, man, because the world is getting, I ain't gonna say it's getting crazy because it's already been that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting chaotic out here. Born to lead, peace, what's happening? Lindell, peace, what's the word? A lot of wickedness out here, man. It's real in the field. Y'all see BBL costumes for the toddlers? Crazy. Crazy. Like that, like I don't know if y'all saw that, man, but it's like a little pic floating around of I think a mother having her daughter with a BBL costume. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Why are you putting your young daughter, your toddler daughter in a BBL costume? What is the purpose of that? Why are you doing that? Why are you corrupting this child that early in life? You are part of the problem, and anybody that fools with it, anybody that agrees with that, you are part of the problem, and we don't need to associate with those type of individuals. This is the importance of fathers. Because listen, all the men that I know, we not letting that go. We not letting that go down like that. There is no reason for a young toddler, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, young girl to be in a BBL costume. There's no reason for that at all. Nothing is cute about that. Nothing is cool about that at all. That's not acceptable, man. That's not acceptable. Not acceptable. And anybody that condones that, anybody that's making an excuse trying to justify that, you're part of the problem, and I don't want to associate with you at all. My sister, peace, what's happening? It's definitely sick. DJ Elmo, what's happening? Too sick, too sick for me. And I don't know about y'all, but I like health. I like being healthy. You know what I'm saying? So things that are sick, I distance myself. I distance myself from that nonsense, man. That's nonsense, man. And when we see something like that, we got to call out that nonsense, man. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Y'all pushing that narrative early, man. Y'all pushing that narrative way too early for me. Michael, peace, what's happening? Peace, peace. Appreciate that for sure. Y'all pushing that narrative way too early for me. This world is getting more artificial by the day. You know what I'm saying? This world is getting more artificial by the day. So I feel sorry for the younger generations, man. I feel sorry for the generations that's coming after us, man. I feel sorry for them because a lot of them, they don't even have a choice. They born into this corruption. You born into some corruption, man. You born with a BBL costume. You born putting on a BBL costume. That's sick. That's sick. Well, a lot of peace. What's happening? DJ Elmo, you say, to be real, I'm still getting over that video of black female rapper rapping about aborting a baby outside Planned Parenthood. Man, I saw that, fam. I saw that, and that's sick. This is the world we living in, though. We got to understand the world we living in, and it ties back into part of the subject matter when we talking about Facebook monetization. See, now all these platforms are in competition with one another. I mean, Facebook and IG, they one and the same. But now all these platforms are competing with one another. You know, and they say, oh, they allowing you to monetize over here. Now, Facebook jumping in the game, and now everybody is able to pretty much monetize off of the reels. You know, the views from the reels and things like that. That is going to intensify the problem that I have been talking about in regards to what social media or the type of atmosphere that social media is creating. They making it too easy to monetize on social media. So now everybody is going to strive once again to create viral content. And when you have people striving to create this viral content, what do you have? You have a bunch of emulators, imitators, people not striving to be original. All they looking around, they say, what can I do to go viral? Such and such did this. Let me mimic that. Such and such did that. Let me mimic that. Let me emulate that. That is the type of atmosphere that this is creating. So I don't know if y'all hip to this Facebook monetization and what's going on and how important that this actually is. You know, you can get you starting to be able to get paid based on your reels, man, the views from your reels on Facebook. That's what's currently going down, man. And I don't feel like that's a good idea, man. This is, but I know what's happening though. I know what's happening. Facebook out here competing with other platforms that's allowing people to monetize, man, and they know what it's doing mentally for us. People are already pocket watching things like that on YouTube. Now they about to do it on Facebook. Now they about to do it on Instagram, TikTok, all the places where you can make money. This is dangerous. This is dangerous for the young generation. That's why the younger generations, that's why they so fascinated by likes, views, comments. Like they getting their feelings, man. If they looking at they posted a picture and they got X amount of likes, that's not enough likes for their liking. So they get depressed about that, man. Like that's the generation that we dealing with, the young generation. They get depressed about not getting enough likes. They get depressed when a certain person doesn't like their photo or their status. This is the generation that we are in. This is dangerous. Everybody's striving to go viral. Everybody cares about likes, comments, shares, all that type of stuff, man. And when they don't receive what they think they should receive, they get depressed because they comparing themselves to somebody else. Man, this creating a very toxic environment, man. Very toxic environment that this is creating. Michael, I'm trying to tell you, listen, I don't know all the black men that I know, we not letting that go down. We not letting a young toddler walk around with a BBL costume. The men that I know, that's not happening. So again, that's one of the side effects of an absent father, of no father figure in a young child's life. See, we talk about the importance of a father figure in regards to the young boys, but hey, a father figure is just as important in the life of the young girl. Because a BBL costume is not going down under my watch, under no man that I know's watch. It's not happening. We not allowing that. We not allowing that. You not about to take my 3-year-old daughter out here trick-or-treating with a BBL costume. First of all, trick-or-treating is, we shouldn't even be really celebrating that nonsense anyway. You know what I'm saying? If we want to get technical. But if we gonna do that, we definitely not about to be out here in the BBL costume at 3 years old, 4 years old, at 5 years old. No age is that appropriate. Come on now. But that's the world we living in, you know, and we got the school shooting like I broke down where I'm at, St. Louis, high school shooting. They trying to cover this up, you know. They not even trying to cover it up. They covering it up. You know, but they knew when they constructed or manufactured this pandemic, when they manufactured the virus that led to this pandemic, they knew what they were creating. They knew the type of atmosphere that this would lead to, because they done already mapped it out. They done already mapped it out. Again, a lot of people be like, oh, that's crazy. That's conspiracy this, conspiracy that. I'm trying to tell y'all, everything is lining up right now. Everything is lining up right now. Everything is lining up. They trying to make it, listen, this is what they do. Y'all got to understand what happens, man. Y'all got to understand some underlying things, man. When you have a school shooter, for one, and I feel like they pinning it all on this black dude, and I don't feel like that's accurate, but whatever. But they got this school shooter, this 19-year-old black dude, and they said they found a journal in his vehicle. And this journal talked about him being a loner, him being isolated, him not having any friends, him never having a girlfriend, things like that. We got to peep beyond the surface. See, they are making it appear as if when you are isolated, you don't rock with too many people, that you are going to be destructive. See, this is one way that they are able to instill that group think in us, because they are telling you right now that it's a problem. If you are an isolated individual, if you are a loner, so to speak, you are a problem. This is the image that they are painting. People not even realizing that. Every time a shooting like this happens, they always talk about the person being isolated, being a loner, not having family, not having this, that, and the third. This is the image that they are always painting. They are trying to make it seem like we are the most destructive people out here. Those of us that are isolated individuals. I'm an isolated individual, and I have never thought to shoot up a school. You know what I'm saying? I'm an isolated individual, and I've never thought to shoot up a school. That's far from in my mind right now. But this is the image that they are painting. This is the image that they are painting. So we got to do the knowledge to that, man. We got to do the knowledge to it. Every time that somebody does a mass shooting, every time they talk about how much of a loner the person is, how isolated the person is. They are trying to get us in this group think box. They are trying to get us, listen, they are trying to get us to move how they want us to move. So in order for them to do that, we can't be isolated. You can't be a loner. You can't be isolated. You got to follow the group. You got to follow the group. So they are trying to discourage folks from being isolated, from staying to themselves. They trying to discourage that. So they paint that image in a wicked light. This is what they are doing. DJ Elmo, yep, I heard about that. Got her kidney removed while doing the BBL surgery, and the last time I checked, I think she disappeared. I think the chick that got her kidney removed after getting the BBL surgery, I think something happened, like she vanished, like she disappeared or something. Air view 100%. You know, it's crazy. They every time, man, he's a loner, he isolated. Like some of these happy-go-lucky people ain't never committed any type of situation. Like, stop playing with me. It's cool, though. I see what they doing. I'm telling you, I fit that description of isolated. You know what I'm saying? Staying to myself, not rocking with a lot of people. But the last thing on my mind is a mass shooting. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing on my mind. I value my freedom. I value my life. I value the lives of other people. I just don't like to be around other people like that. I'm not about to destroy their lives, though. But it's real out here, man. We got to understand, man. We got to analyze everything that's going on, man. Analyze everything that's currently going on. There's a lot more that's going on, but these are some of the things that just caught my attention. These are some of the more recent events that have caught my attention, caught my eye, and I'm like, yeah, it's getting real in the field. Babies with the BBL costumes, that's wicked. If we see that, man, we need to call that out. You know what I'm saying? We can't allow that to slide. If you know anybody that's dressing a young daughter up in the BBL costume, point that out, call it out. I'm talking about dragging through the mud, because that's sick. We can't allow that. Can't allow that at all. That's nonsense. You know, this is ridiculous. Because if you are a woman, especially if you are a woman that has ever been touched when you were a kid, you shouldn't be sexualizing your child like that. You shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you was a woman and you was touched as a youngin', even if you were not touched as a youngin', it still ain't justified. But if you were touched as a youngin', why would you over-sexualize your child like that? Why would you do that? You know the type of world we live in. You know how many creeps we have out here. You know how many weirdos we have out here. Why would you send your child out to go get candy from these weirdos while dressed in a BBL costume? Why would you do that? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know all these creeps out here. All y'all do is talk about how trash black dudes are, how trash dudes are, how creepy dudes are, but then you finna over-sexualize your young daughter and send her out here to get candy from these creeps, from these same dudes that you call creeps and weirdos. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You are part of the problem. You are the problem. There's no justifying that. There's no justifying that type of behavior. No justifying it. None. There's nobody that will find this stream. There's nobody that will find this video and can give me a good enough reason as to why a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old should walk around in BBL costume. Nobody has any. It's no good reason. Just none. No good reason at all. DJ Elmo, for sure. For sure. And that's again, that's what's happening. Like I said, this school shooting that happened in my area, my town, St. Louis, like it's a lot of fishy nonsense that's going on. A lot of fishy nonsense, man. A lot of fishy nonsense. Y'all saw the video. How did you interview? How did you have videos with all these kids that were there at the time of the shooting say the shooter was a white male, but then the image we getting is of a black dude? So now all these kids lying, huh? Trying to tell you, man. Trying to tell you, this world is trying to tell you, man. We living right now through a cover up. They are literally striving to cover this up. They won't even release the footage. They will not even release the footage to the FBI. Like, this is how crazy this type of stuff is going on right now. They don't even want to release the footage of how the shooter even got into the school. This is how sick it is, man. They don't want to release the footage. What y'all think? If they don't want to release footage, what you think they doing to the footage? They do not want to release the footage. They keep saying things like, we don't know how the shooter got inside of the school. They got the camera set up. They asking for the footage. They were like, they don't want to release the footage yet, though. What y'all think they doing to that footage, man? Y'all know the answer to that. Y'all know the answer to that. All these kids that were present at the shooting saying they saw a white dude. Then all of a sudden, y'all, oh, okay, here goes the shooter. He's a black guy. Come on now. Brian, come on now. We better than that. What facts do I need to get together, bro? Brian, it don't take that long to release footage. The facts are in the footage, Brian. There's no like literally. If the FBI is asking for the footage, the facts are in the footage. I worked in banking and we got robbed twice. We gave the footage to the folks the same day. We don't need to get any facts together. The facts in the footage. We saw what happened by watching the camera. I done been part of stuff like this. I done got robbed twice working in banking. It didn't take us a week to give people footage. Once we found the footage, once we found the time frame of something happening and they asked for the footage, we gave it to them. This is the person that did it. This is how they walked in. This is what they did. This is the gun they had on them. This is the note that they slid. We don't need to sit on that footage. What are we finna do with it? I done been part of this, man. There is no need to be holding on the footage like that unless you are editing the footage. Unless you are tampering with the footage, man. Like, come on, man. I done been part of 2 bank robberies, man. Been part of 2 bank robberies. Once you go to the footage at the time that it happened, boom, here you go. Now do y'all job. This is what happened. Here y'all go. So nah, ain't no reason for them to be sitting on the footage. We need to know how he got into the school. This is not rocket science. How did he get into the school? How are y'all telling me you do not know how he got into the school? And we have cameras right where he could have got in at, right where supposedly glass was shot out. This is simple. Give us the footage. We have all of these smartphones. We have all, listen, somebody can go get shot right outside this plaza right now, fam. Somebody gonna upload this video. We done had a bunch of entertainers, a bunch of celebrities, then got shot on spot. Everybody has footage. But now when it comes to something like this, we see no video of anything going down. Are you serious? But yet we got footage of kids after the things that happened. The kids that attended the school telling me the shooter looks one way, and then they giving us the image of another guy that looks the total opposite. Nah. Come on, fam. Like, come on, Brian. Like, I'm in the area where this is happening. Like, I know what's going on. I know it's being covered up. I live here. Like, I know what's happening. Like, I know people that are connected to the school. I know people that then went to the school. Like, they are all saying the same. We all saying the same thing. They were saying it was somebody white. Why are they giving us a black image? We all saying the same thing, fam. Like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't all tripping. We ain't all crazy. This ain't no conspiracy that I'm creating. In the town where I live, everybody is finding this fishy. You know what I'm saying? This is not even close to home. This is home. Like, I'm here. I live here, grew up here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, nah. They tampering with the footage. Like, I done been robbed in the St. Louis area. I done been in a business where we have gotten robbed in the St. Louis area. I know how it goes here. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, we know something is being tampered with. We got to understand the historical ramifications behind the St. Louis area. You know what I'm saying? We just had the Mike Brown situation. They don't want that to happen again. We had the Mike Brown situation years ago. They don't want that type of climate to be created again. They definitely tampering with this footage because it doesn't take that long to release that footage, man. It doesn't take that long. There's no, like, what are we waiting on? We need to know how he got in. Y'all don't know how he got in. It's a bunch of, listen, y'all tell me if all this making sense. They don't know how this shooter got in. Brian, no. I'm telling you, Ryan, no. I have been robbed in the St. Louis area. No, I do not. I didn't have people, I didn't work at banks where people have vandalized the bank, then tried to steal ATMs, all type of stuff. And that St. Louis Police Department has taken zero things seriously around here. So no, I do not. I live here, fam. You know what I'm saying? I live here. When we got robbed, the first time I got robbed at the bank where I worked at, the first thing they asked me, the cops, St. Louis Police Department, was why did I have so much money in my drawer? Obviously, because I was the only one up there. I was the only teller up there at the time. And you asking me why I have so much money in my drawer? They ain't, not the first thing was, are you okay? What did he look like? No, they was just like, why did you have so much money on you? So they was automatically trying to accuse me, not even realizing that I was the only one up there working. So obviously, this is the reason why I got this money on me. I'm the only one up here working, and they knew that because that was disclosed to them before they even asked me that question. So again, these are the people that we talking about. So no, I don't trust nothing like that. Why would I trust that? You know what I'm saying? Why would I trust them? I didn't been in the field. I didn't been part of this process. I didn't been part of the process. Hell, the FBI took the thing more seriously than the St. Louis Police Department. Because when the bank get robbed, the FBI got to tap in. You know what I'm saying? So I had talked to the FBI and everything. I'd have been part of this. Like, I didn't literally been part of things like this. No, luckily, dude didn't decide to shoot the second time I got robbed in the bank, man. But I had talked to the FBI. I had talked to the police department here, and the police department trash. You might as well talk to a wall. You might as well talk to a wall. I can't stand the police. They don't take nothing serious, man. You might as well talk to a wall. You know what I'm saying? The first dude that robbed the bank where I worked at, and it was in Ferguson. That's where I grew up. Y'all familiar with Ferguson, man. The Mike Brown shooting happened right where I grew up at. You know what I'm saying? The gas station that was burned down is my neighborhood gas station. Fam, like, my brother still lives right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But the first bank I got robbed, that was Ferguson, man. They did not catch that dude at all. Guess what? When he robbed the white bank, they caught him that next day. So he went to the white side of town, robbed their bank over there. They caught him the next day. Caught him the next day. Caught him the next day. The urgency when we got robbed was not there, though. So nah, I don't take them serious, man. But let me point out some things in regards to this school shooter here in St. Louis. Y'all let me know if this type of stuff makes sense. First of all, they don't know how he got into the building. Let me rewind it. A lot of the students are saying that it was more than one shooter. This is from the students that were there. So I'm gonna believe some of the people that were there. First of all, they saying it was more than one. So they saying the shooter did not act alone. Secondly, he had an AR-15 with 600 rounds. First of all, what 19-year-old black dude you know walking around with that by himself? And they said he got the gun and ammunition from a private dealer. Okay. Now, I told you, they found a note in a journal in his car. They read the journal, and the journal was like, he don't have any family, he don't have friends, never had a girlfriend, always been a loner, always been isolated, yada, yada, yada. But then they go back and they find his family. So they talk to his family. Same dude that just said he had no family. The first people that's making noise is his family. And the family said, this is what the family said, y'all. The family said they took this AR-15 from him and they gave it to a third party. And they do not know how he got the gun back. I wasn't born yesterday. Are y'all seriously buying that? This so-called family that this dude just swore he did not have said that they took the AR-15 from him. They took the gun from him. Gave the gun to a third party. He somehow got the gun back, and the family doesn't know how he got the gun back. Like, are you serious? Does that make any sense to y'all? This dude just said he ain't got no family. He isolated, woo-woo. But his family said they took the gun from him, gave it to a third party, don't know how he got the gun back. Who is the third party? We don't know. But that's what they are saying. Now, I'm going to throw something at y'all. If y'all got a family member, and now mind you, the family said he's been struggling with mental health and they've been trying to seek help for him, this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna pose a question to y'all. Let's say y'all have a son, right? And your son is 19 and he's been struggling with his mental health for his entire life. And he at 19, he just so happens to go buy an AR-15. Not a little handgun, he goes and buys an AR-15. How are you gonna respond to that? You got a son, he's been struggling with mental health for 19 years. He's isolated, he's to himself, he seems off, whatever the case may be. He goes and randomly buys an AR-15. How you gonna respond to that? You just gonna randomly take it and think nothing of it? If I go buy an AR-15 out of nowhere, an AR-15, this is like noted, mind you, this is the gun we are talking. AR-15, if I just go up and decide to buy AR-15 at 19, after just having all these mental issues, y'all just gonna take the gun from me and go give it to a third party? That's what y'all gonna do to y'all son. Y'all son at 19, mental health, y'all been seeking help for him. He just randomly ups and buys an AR-15 and all you finna do is take it from him, give it to a third party. No. I don't know how much y'all care about siblings and your sons and your daughters, but I'm not gonna take that lightly. I'm not gonna take that lightly. If my son at 19 randomly goes and buys an AR-15 and I sense that he's mentally not there, nah, we're gonna have to take this a little more seriously. Then I'm just gonna take this gun, give it to a third party, and just hope that he doesn't find it, or hope that he doesn't get another gun. That makes no sense. We ain't say he just went and bought a 9mm handgun. No, he bought an AR-15 and you found an AR-15. You found an AR-15 in your son's room and you not spazzing. You just gonna be like, hey, Orlando, you got this AR-15. We gonna take this up off you and we gonna go give it to this third party. You shouldn't be walking around with an AR-15 randomly because your mental health is not there. Like, nah, man, I'm not buying that, man. Come on. He got the gun from a private dealer. They say he tried to get the gun. He tried to get the gun from like a gun show somewhere. They wouldn't sell him the gun. So he got the gun from a private dealer. The family took the gun, gave it to a third party. He gets the gun back. Nobody knows how. Listen, fam, if I take a gun from you and I give the gun to a third party, how do I not know how you got this gun back? Either the third party that I gave it to gave it back to you, or I just suck at hiding guns from people and you knew exactly where I put it. So y'all got to make that make sense, man. How do I take a gun from somebody, give it to a third party, and they get it back and I don't understand how they got it back? The first thing I'm going to do is talk to the third party. Yo, I gave you this gun. Where did you put it? What did you do with it? We going to get to the bottom of it like that. What did you do with this gun that I gave you? How is it possible that he got this gun back? We gonna talk to the third party that I gave the gun to. Like, that's what we gonna do. Oh, Tasha, 100%. Yeah, this is good. This is gonna get, listen, unfortunately, it's more to come. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I hope people are paying attention to what's happening. Because again, unfortunately, I see things getting a little more crazy, a little more wicked. And we got to understand what social media is about. We got to understand the influence behind all of this, man. We got to understand man, listen. Again, St. Louis area. I'm talking about the crib. This dude shot up the school, right? I think that might have been the same day or the next day. They had another threat in the St. Louis area at a middle school where somebody supposedly sent out a text. One of the students sent out the text saying they was tired of everybody in the middle school and they gonna shoot the middle school up. This is happening where I'm at, man. So this is at home, not close to home, twice. So the school shooting happened in St. Louis, and then they had a threat at a middle school where somebody threatened to shoot up the entire middle school. So the middle school is on lockdown, and the whole district, I think. So somebody did the school shooting, killed 2 people. And then at a middle school, there was a threat. So come on, man. Oh, a lot of for sure. Hey, and you know, when we start speaking in terms like that, you already know, man. Alex Jones they got that man paying a bunch of money to these families for the Sandy Hook situation and saying you had crisis actors and things like that. Boy, they making Alex Jones almost pay $1 billion for that. The real for 100%. An AR-15. Why is that not in a safe with a crazy lock? So again, if I take an AR-15 from my 19-year-old son, that gun is going to be locked all the way up. There is no way that he's going to be able to access that bro, unless I gave it back to him. So it's so many holes in this story, man. It's so many holes. They don't know how he got into the school. The kids saying that they saw a white dude. Some of the kids saying that it was more than one. It was 3 of them. We only got one image of the shooter. They saying the black dude, the one that got killed. They saying a white man was wounded and another white guy got away. This is what they saying. So it's a lot of holes right here. This is crazy. And they gonna try to make us appear like we the crazy ones for asking these questions, for pointing out the, you know what I'm saying? For pointing out the nonsense, the fallacies in the story. Oh, the real for sure, 100%. But I don't know who is the third party that they gave this gun to. If I give the gun to a third party and my son, and it's that easy for my son to retrieve this gun, like that was trash. How you gonna I'm gonna take my AR-15 from my son, give it to somebody, and he finds it instantly? You wanted him to find it, man. Like that's crazy. Third party. Like that don't even make any sense. We gave the gun to a third party. What? Oh, Divine, 100%. And that's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If my son if I'm analyzing my son, I know my son, and he just off. And then at 19, he randomly buys an AR-15, like, nah, we finna have to take some extreme measures. I'm not going to politely take this AR-15 away from him. First of all, with how crazy these kids will kill their parents. So I'm not finna take an AR-15 from my son and take that lightly, because he might be plotting and scheming to kill me. You know what I'm saying? These kids don't care nothing about killing their parents and killing family members. So if I find an AR-15 on them, I need to know what's happening. Man, I don't trust nothing. Who's to say he ain't get this AR-15 to kill you, family members? But he just claimed that he didn't have a family member. He didn't have family. So he didn't think too highly of his family. You know what I'm saying? So if I find this AR-15 in the room of my son or my cousin, and I know that we don't even get along like that, like, nah, some up. I'm like, hold up. Orlando had an AR-15 in this room, or Orlando had an AR-15 on him. He already don't rock with a lot of us. Hey, so we need to tap in with him. Something need to happen. Oh, the real for sure. For sure, man. I'm trying to tell you. But at this point, it's already covered up. Like at this point, man, they have held on to the footage. They ain't want to release any footage. So anything that comes out right now as far as footage, I don't trust it. They didn't wait too long to release footage. So they didn't already tamper with the footage. All the evidence has been tampered with. So it's already, like, at this point in the game, man, whatever they come out and tell us on, it's a lot of meat. Dallas, peace, what's happening? Oh, Tasha, 100%, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. You know, that's why. That's why we got to keep the head on the swivel, man. But it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on in the St. Louis area, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. St. Louis is one of them areas right now. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, man. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. Jazz, I'm trying. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I remember back in the day when I used to talk about. Let me tap in. Like I used to back in the day when I used to talk about the curriculum. You know, and how they teach us about a lot of garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff that they need to be teaching, that the curriculum needs to change. And I feel like the mental should be part of the curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff that we be going through, that we traumatized, and we go to school and we playing volleyball in gym. You know what I'm saying? We taking a bunch of classes that don't even mean nothing, that won't help us in life at all. You know what I'm saying? That won't help us in life at all. Electives. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to tap in with the mental. If we're gonna do gym, it needs to be self-defense. You know what I'm saying? We need to be learning things like that, man. Need a piece, what's happening? Boom Crypto, what's happening? Brandon, peace, what's happening? Brian, saying the federal government is on top of something is not saying much. The federal government, the government is the same. That's the same government that's responsible for COINTELPRO. Literally they were wiretapping. They were tapping the homes of certain black individuals, all because they were trying to uplift their people. J. Edgar Hoover, you know what I'm saying, the director of the FBI, created this COINTELPRO program. This is part of your federal government that you was talking about. Tapping the homes of some of our great leaders. And these same great leaders that didn't have any type of motive to go kill a bunch of white folk, they didn't have these motives. They trying to uplift their people. They trying to uplift black people. That was the motive. But since that was the motive, and since it went against their motive and their agenda, they had to illegally set up wiretaps in their cribs. Illegally spying on these folks. Illegally gathering all this information on these folks. Illegally. Illegally, man. These dudes ain't did nothing. These dudes ain't broke no law. They ain't broken no law. But since they out here building up their people, uplifting their people, now you want to tap into their crib. COINTELPRO. It's the same federal government that's responsible for COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO. You have a message that uplifts black people, and now we got to tap your crib. We got to gather all this unnecessary information on you. We got to infiltrate the movement. This is the same federal government that you're talking about that's responsible for the infiltration of black organizations. So them being on top of something doesn't take away from the fact that it will be covered up. And we got plenty of those scandals. We want to go to Watergate and things like that, man. We got plenty of these scandals. We got plenty of cover-ups that they are responsible for. Plenty of them. So again, mentioning the federal government saying they are on top of something, that doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything at all. Yeah, Devon, hey, you know what I'm saying? I know we got I know we got people that's tapped in like that. Yeah, Brian, you tripping again. What bad apples are you talking about? The people that they were weeding out were not bad apples. Martin Luther King, I'm not even a Martin Luther King fan like that. Martin Luther King was not a bad apple. He was not a bad apple. So what do you mean they weeded out the bad apples? The bad apples are still around. Because the bad apples are the ones that's spying on us. You know what I'm saying? The Rockefellers, J.P. Morgans and Chase, Rothschilds, the people that need to be spied on, they were not spying on them. They were not infiltrating their families. They were not, you know what I'm saying? They weren't tapped in on them. They living fruitful lives. Fred Hampton ain't, boy, Fred Hampton didn't, boy. Bobby Hutton, these dudes ain't even lived to see their 20s and their 30s. Nah. Nope. Things have not changed at all, man. Just imagine, listen, the matter of fact, like the censorship is even more real in the field. Just imagine if we had Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, Huey Newton, Fred Hampton existing today. They wouldn't even be able to be on, like they wouldn't even be able to be on these platforms because they would be censored. Literally, they would be censored. You know what I'm saying? Like they would be censored, you know? But they had to suffer worse than that. Back then, they got assassinated. You know what I'm saying? But like they would be censored. They wouldn't even be able to speak. So they would just be mute out here. So then they had to take it to the streets and then they would have to suffer the same fate. But they wouldn't even be able to be on these platforms. Like, listen, they didn't bet, like Farrakhan ain't even on these platforms. Farrakhan can't even be on YouTube, fam. Farrakhan. And a lot of people don't even fool with Farrakhan. I mean, it's a lot of people that fool with him, but it's a lot of black people that don't even fool with him. A lot of black people don't fool with Farrakhan like that. They feel like he's responsible for Malcolm getting killed, all that. They feel like he's responsible for Khaled's death, things like that. They won't even let him on. So just imagine Malcolm, Khaled, all these folks. Like, nah. Nah, Brian, the bad apples within the federal government emphatically no. Emphatically no. Emphatically no. And Brian, you got to ask yourself, this is what I tell people all the time. This is what they call, that's the reverse racism argument. You got to ask yourself, why did a Fred Hampton have to have a radical view in the first place? Like the Fred Hamptons and the Huey Newtons, they didn't wake up angry one day. There's a reason why they had to have a radical viewpoint in the first place. There's a reason why somebody like me has the views that I have. Again, that's the reverse racism argument, and that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? That's a horrible argument. You know what I'm saying? People been bullying you for 400 years, 300 years, and then you finally respond, and now you too radical? That doesn't even make any sense. You've been getting bullied by a group of people for over 400 years, and then you respond verbally, and now you are too radical? Like that doesn't even make any sense to me. Like I can't be too radical. Like you done been discriminating, you done been bullying my people for this long. All I'm doing is getting on YouTube and expressing my opinions. How am I too radical? I didn't up and say let's kill everybody. I'm just on YouTube, letting y'all know I know some truths out here. So I don't even, and then especially when you listen to some of us, the first thing we say in the 5% is that we not pro-black and anti-white. We pro-righteousness and anti-devilishment. That's what we say. Now we gonna give you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you white and can't handle the truth that we speaking, then that's on you. If you black and can't handle the truth that we speaking, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But from my experience, I get more backlash from black people in regards to being on this than white folks. Every white person that I didn't talk to, I ain't gonna say everyone, but I done had a lot of cordial conversations with white folks in regards to history, you know, in regards to things that I talk about. So people be out here saying that, oh, y'all hate white people. No, we do not. Not at all. I have very peaceful conversations with them because I don't hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to talk facts. I'm able to talk history with anybody that's willing to listen and build. And even if we were pro-black, that still doesn't mean that we hate white people. That just means that we are pro our people first. But they pushing these narratives out here, man. They pushing that narrative. They want you to think that if a group of people out here pushing a pro-black message that they hate all white people. No, that's not the case. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. Not the case at all. So we're not even gonna do that, you know. And that's what those are the narratives that they tend to push. The narratives that they tend to push, man. I'm not on that type of vibe. Hey, my message, y'all may hear some of the things that I say and may think otherwise, but nah, trust me, it's not like that. We just gonna speak the truth to power. We gonna speak the truth to power at all times, man. And that's the only thing that we can do. That's the only thing that we should do. And I'm willing to build with anybody that's striving to listen. You know, so I get a lot of flack, man. When I'm walking around with How to Eat to Live, I'm getting more flack from black people. When I walk around with the Dr. Sebi Bible, I'm getting more flack from black people. All right, man, I'm trying to tell you. Now, you still got the new Black Panther Party, but man, that they not as thorough as they were back when Bobby Seale and Huey Newton and you know what I'm saying, all of them. The black, see, we got to study our history, right, in order for us to improve upon that history. So while the Black Panther Party was infiltrated, so a lot of that disorganization came from infiltration. Like the Black Panther Party still had a lot of flaws in regards to how that system was ran. But that's with every organization. You know, people start getting big-headed and things like that, man. It started getting a little real in the field, man. So we got to learn from that type of situation. Now, of course, some of this was due to infiltration. But then some of this was just, all right, man, this organization is growing like it is. We getting a lot of attention, and some of us just getting big-headed. You know, so a lot of times, man, that becomes a problem, especially in today's time. Fast forward to today's time, that problem will be even more worse. You know, we got social media. Everybody want that attention. So you gotta, you part of something and somebody rising up the ranks and they Malcolm and they Huey and you sitting back and you see them getting all this attention and you know what I'm saying, people be getting jealous and envious. And I feel like social media intensifies that, you know what I'm saying? So we just gotta, we gotta learn how to keep the egos in check and things like that, you know? Because, jealousy and envy has also destroyed, played a part in destroying some of our powerful organizations. My Nation of Islam folks won't like it. But, you know, I feel like that played a role in what happened to Malcolm and Khalid. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Malcolm X went against the orders of Elijah Muhammad, but it's like, I still feel like, man, you know, jealousy and envy had a lot to do with it. Malcolm X was an elegant speaker. I'm talking about crazy with the words, crazy with the delivery. You know what I'm saying? He was intelligent. You know, Elijah Muhammad wasn't the best speaker. You know what I'm saying? He could, like, honestly, he couldn't move a crowd like Malcolm could. So we'll be living in denial if we act like that didn't play a role in regards to what happened to Malcolm. All right, man, I'm trying to tell you. We was policing the police. That's what you got to do out here. Policing the police. Policing the police, man, for sure. Like, as far as structure, and I just got done criticizing the Nation of Islam, but the Nation of Islam has a very, listen, their structure is crazy. Like the FOI, the whole structure of the Nation of Islam is crazy. Like if we could take that structure, if we could take that and how the Black Panthers was roaming around, policing, like if we could combine those, I'm telling you, man, we'd be on the move. But the FOI, like the Nation of Islam has a very nice structure as far as the FOI is concerned. You know, if we could take that and couple it with the Black Panther Party, man, and how they was moving back in the day, man, I'm telling you, man, that'd be beautiful. It'd be beautiful. Boom, crypto for sure. Brian, I'm not gonna say they like compromise, but it's less structured and disciplined and influential than it was back in the day. But it did get a little corrupted. I remember Khalid Muhammad was talking about that. I remember that was written in his book, the Book of Khalid, that I read. Crippin' 2 times my brother. What's happening? Peace, peace. Divine, I haven't tapped into him in a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute since I tapped into some comment, I said some comments, some content from the brother. Yeah, but it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I feel like, man, we could take bits and pieces from, like, Marcus Garvey had a nice structure. You know, with the UNIA, he had a nice structure. And they had, boy, they listen, nothing new under the sun. Boy, they used to hate on Marcus Garvey back in the day hard. Like W.E.B. Du Bois and the black bourgeoisie, they did not like Marcus Garvey. You know, those those black bougie dudes back in the day did not like Marcus Garvey. They really hated on Marcus Garvey. If y'all not familiar with the Marcus Garvey story, man, a lot of them dudes, a lot of them black elite dudes, you know what I'm saying, that the corporate structure allowed to reach certain statuses, man, they couldn't stand Marcus Garvey. Couldn't stand him. Could not stand him. Montel, peace, what's happening, Brian? Yeah, I saw that. I actually did see that with Boosie, and I haven't tapped in all the way 100%, but yeah, I seen that though. Right, I'm talking about shootouts with the boys, man. Like, that's the type. Unfortunately, that's the type of stuff that we got to prepare for. And I was having that conversation with a client of mine. I was like, listen, all this stuff don't matter. Like, we could build communities, we could build cities, we could build schools, but if we don't have a military to protect any of this, we going down. We need a military to protect anything that we create. You know what I'm saying? So if we creating schools, if we creating communities, if we creating all of this stuff, man, we creating banks, we need militaries to protect it. If we creating all of this with no military to protect it, they gonna do like they did Move, Rosewood, Black Wall Street. They gonna do them like they did all our communities, bomb them, destroy them, because we don't have a military to protect it. Like, seriously, like that's the type of structure that we need. You know what I'm saying? We need the military to protect anything that we got created, anything that we have that we invested in. We got to have a military that's backing it, man. They don't care nothing about ain't no threat. If we create something, there is no threat. If they come and destroy something that we have created, there is no threat in regards to what we'll do to them. They not threatened. They like, man, we could destroy their whole city. They not gonna do anything to us. They don't have the military. They don't have the soldiers defending their turf. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't worried about destroying what we done built. Hey, Ray, for sure. And hey, Killer Priest got a song called Lost Generation. And he was like, we need Bloods and Crips to run our government, not for gang banging, but brain training. Man, that line went over some heads. That right there, that's our military. We just got it. They just need the discipline. We already got the soldiers, man. If we could get those young brothers to channel that energy in another direction, though, we good. That's why I don't like to talk down to them brothers in the streets, man. We gonna need them. You know what I'm saying? We gonna need them. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of these brothers in that environment, man, them brothers be more hip than we know. A lot of them brothers know about Malcolm. They know about Huey. They just channeling that energy in the wrong direction. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We got to get them to see the bigger picture. But Killer Priest say, man, we need Bloods and Crips to run our governments, not for gang banging, but brain training. We got to train them minds, man. Those your soldiers right there. Those are the soldiers right there. Those your soldiers, man. We already got our soldiers. We just got to tap in, like the FOI. The Fruit of Islam. A lot of them dudes was former drug dealers. They was former people in the streets. That's who makes up the FOI. A lot of them brothers. So for sure, we already got the soldiers, man. We just got to tap in with them. We got to tap in with them, man. Them the soldiers. And anybody that come into this neighborhood that's looking unfamiliar, we done built this business up. You come in here looking unfamiliar and we don't trust you, we gonna stick them soldiers on you. Like, that's 100% how that needs to go. You know, just like we protect these neighborhoods that we don't own, we actually own the neighborhoods. Now we get these Bloods and Crips and say, all right, boom, this is how we finna do it. Anybody that's coming in here that's looking unfamiliar, hey, if they start acting fishy, if they start acting funny, this is how we gonna play it. RBG, peace, what's happening? AJ, peace, what's happening? For sure, man. We got to get back to the code. We got to get back to the street code out here, man. IBR, 100%. You know, we got to get back to some street codes out here, man. Again, we talking about what needs to be done. We talking about we need to have our own this, we need to have our own that, man. But we got to get back to some sort of code. We got to get back to some sort of code. We got to get back to some sort of support system where we supporting each other, things like that, man. Again, we got to get on some sort of code, man. Like straight up. We got to get back to some sort of code, man. That's what we missing out here. Brian, you know what's interesting about that? It's actually funny because my aunt tried to get me to, you know what I'm saying, run for like one of the wards, like councilman and things like that, man. But hey, nah. That stuff too corrupt for me. You know what I'm saying? When you come into something like that and you try to change the game, it's a lot of stuff that be going on, man. As a matter of fact, some of these dudes that's in that type of situation, again, St. Louis area, man, they just got caught up in some stuff, man. They was doing it's crazy. Some councilmen around here, man, was doing some illegal things and they done got caught up and they facing some serious jail time. Crazy, man. Black dudes, man. So it's just St. Louis is taking some L's, man. Like St. Louis, like taking L's, man. Taking some major L's. Like, what is dudes on out here? You know, y'all know me though. I'm for creating our own type of political system, not trying to immerse ourselves in their political system. Like that is never going to work for me. You know, we trying to immerse ourselves into a political system that they have created that never had our best interests at heart. That's never going to work. Because anytime we try to severely change it, then, okay, yep, all right, we got to get rid of them. Man, Dread Mike, 100%, man. I remember Killer Mike. I remember Killer Mike had something on YouTube back then. He was talking with the Crips, man, and he came up with the Crip Cola or something like that. Man, it was crazy. Like them dudes ain't. I don't know why dudes think these dudes in the streets are like dumb or something. Like, man, these dudes be some intelligent dudes, man. But I remember that Killer Mike series, man. When he was chopping it up with the Crips, and they came up with the Crip Cola or something like that, man. It was it's crazy, man. Yeah, but I remember that. I don't know what people be on, man. Like dudes definitely be intelligent, man. Malcolm X was Detroit Red before he was Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out here in that type of environment at the time, and then he read Message to the Black Man, and then boom. Like Khalid Muhammad wasn't no punk. You know what I'm saying? Khalid Muhammad was you know what I'm saying? Khalid Muhammad was a street dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no punk. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like shout out to them though, man. Shout out to the people that inspired me, man. Shout out to Malcolm, Khalid, Fred Hampton, all these people, man. Marcus Garvey. Shout out to them all. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, man. Eldridge Cleaver, Soul on Ice, man. One of the first books I had read, man. All that. Shout out to them all. Brian, we gonna strive to crush the corporate giants in another way. You know what I'm saying? We gonna strive to crush them in another way. Ray, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Yeah, we gonna strive to crush them in another way. Oh, Divine Focus, 100%. Boom Crypto, you already know. Yeah, but we need that. We need that within the next year or so, man. We got to start chopping it up with them folks, though. We can't run away from it. We got to go into these neighborhoods. Like, I ain't afraid. I'm not afraid to go anywhere. And one of the reasons why I'm not afraid, and it ain't a sense of like I'm about to walk around like I'm invincible. You know, when I go places, I have my head on a swivel. But I'm not in fear in the sense of like I don't be into none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like anything can happen to anybody, but like when I'm not on that type of vibe, That's why so many people in my area where I'm from, that's why so many people know me, and that's why I'm cool with so many people. I'm cool with people from all different gangs, from all different neighborhoods that are so-called bad. Like, I can literally go to any of these neighborhoods that are bad, so to speak, and I know a few people from each one. Cause I've been cool with everybody, man. Cause I ain't on that nonsense, you know. And at the same time, if you try me, then I'm gonna defend myself. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, I can walk with that light. Now, of course, I'm not just gonna place myself in harm's way for no reason. Like, no, I'm gonna move. It's gonna be calculated. But man, that's how we gotta move, man. We can't just disown these brothers in the streets and act like some of us ain't come from that type of environment or wasn't close to joining that type of environment. Like, nah, them your brothers, man. I'm your brothers. I'm your brothers, man. You gotta tap in with them. They need that consistency in their lives, man. You might not change them all. You might not get them all to realize the truth, but hey, some of them will, and that's all you need. That's all you need, man. But I'm not gonna ever turn my nose up at my brothers in the streets. Like, that's foul. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. Like, look at it, like y'all out here gang banging, like y'all low lives. Like, nah, I'm not finna do that. Nope. I'm finna chop it up with that brother. We not even gonna have that conversation. I'm gonna find common ground with the brother in the streets. We gonna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get cool, because brothers are cool, man. I know brothers that come from that. I know brothers that come from that, man. I know brothers that come from it, man. Like we all do. You know, I know brothers that come from that. Man, some of my closest friends growing up are currently, you know what I'm saying, in some situations. You know, so I know plenty of people that come from that type of environment, you know. Plenty of people, man. And it ain't nothing to have a conversation with them. Of course, like, they might not listen to you the first time, but man, one of my closest friends that's brought up in that type of situation, that was brought up in that environment, man, dude be out here wilding out. That dude he been paying attention to me on the low for years, to the point where he finally had inboxed me, man, and just talked about it. Just talked about a lot of the stuff I had been posting on Facebook over the years. So man, they be watching. They be watching, fam. They be tapped in. They be listening. But my brother, he was on the run. I'll never forget, he hit me up one time. He was literally on the run and was just like, man, yeah, man, a lot of the stuff you've been talking about, man, I've been paying attention on the low. Don't think that your words are going unnoticed, man. He's like, man, the stuff been resonating with me, man. I'm trying to change my life. Like, stuff like that, man. Like, dude hit me up with a whole spiel while he was on the run. Hit me up with a whole spiel while he was on the run, man. You know, so, hey, never stop speaking that truth to power, man. You never know who's listening. You never know even when you think they not listening. Even when you think they not listening, I guarantee you they listening. Even if they don't want to admit they listening, they listening. You know what I'm saying? They listening out here. Best believe it, man. Best believe these folks listening. Best believe these dudes that you think is lost, they listening. Best believe. Keep drilling them with the message, though. Keep drilling them with the information. Keep drilling them with the knowledge. I guarantee you, man, you'll get through to some of them. Again, we ain't trying to save everybody. We can't. But we gonna save a few, though. But y'all, with that being said, man, I got some clients that's about to walk in here, man. I got to get this gym ready for my last session for the morning and then make some moves. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid. It's all love, man. I'm getting back into the stream and groove. I was going through a mental situation, man. I realized what it was. This around the same time when my granny passed, man. It's 3 years ago. So I was wondering, I'm like, dang, man, I'm in a funk, man, mentally. I ain't feeling right. And I realized what time of the year it was. I said, oh, okay, this is what's happening. You know, I'm able to tap in with myself. So that's the reason why I was like, man, I'm finna get off social media. I'm finna get off of this stuff. It was just me feeling some type of way, man, because it's around that time, man. You know, hey, the granny, that's my second mom. That was my second mom's, fam. You know, so that was a situation that I never really, you know, tackled. So a lot of times it get around this time, I start feeling some type of way, man. So I had to snap out of that bow, you know what I'm saying? So we in here. We back to streaming on the regular. So it is what it is, you know? But I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I'm going to let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. I'm going to try to tap in again with y'all maybe tomorrow, Sunday, one of these days, man. We back on the grind, though, man. We back giving y'all this information, this inspiration, this knowledge, talking about things that people don't want to talk about. You know, it's all good, but I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.